You are no chick chaser. You are gay.
I love Studio Trigger to death. The first ever real review I did on this channel was a review of B&A Brand New Animal, and Kill la Kill is my favorite anime of all time. So when I heard that Studio Trigger was making a movie and that it would be in theaters, I was absolutely ecstatic. I was excited. My ass was ready day one. Sadly though, due to some personal stuff going on in my life, I had completely forgotten about the film, and had to wait patiently for the DVD release. It was a very long wait, and knowing how I used to be, I'm genuinely surprised I was able to avoid spoilers. I went into this silly little anime mecha film completely blind. So what did I think? Well, let's discuss that starting now. So Promare is about mecha firefighters who fight mutants called the Burnish who can use this purple fire substance called the Promare. The film is about Gallo, a firefighter, and Leo Fortia, a Burnish terrorist group leader. They must work together if they want to save the world from the evil fascist and racist governor. Sorta off topic, but have any of y'all realized that Studio Trigger really likes to make stories about fascism? Kill la Kill, B&A, Promare, they literally have made an episode of Star Wars Visions. Star Wars is literally about fascism. Like, I cannot be the only one who's noticed this. Anyways, that's the basic plot synopsis. It's a standard Studio Trigger project, so most of the lore to the universe is explained later on to make the story more dramatic. Kill la Kill did the same thing too. When it comes to most standalone anime movies, I usually complain because without context, the story would be pretty confusing and would be really hard to watch, but since this is made by Studio Trigger, the film is interesting on its own without needing the context. Big robot firefighters fights big fire robot. That's enough to keep me interested for a good chunk of time and make it easier to wait for the explanation of how the world and the universe works. You get some context in the beginning with a really well animated scene of people blowing up, and then you get a really good exposition dump near the end. It's cool and just works. Speaking of well-animated scenes, Promare is gorgeous. Every scene is full of bright and vibrant colors and it just makes everything feel alive. It also makes the dramatic and darker scenes hit harder because unlike every other scene in the film, the colors are a lot darker and less vibrant. A lot more gray. It feels jarring, but in a good way. The film has the standard yet always amazing Studio Trigger character movement that just makes everyone feel unique from one another and makes them really feel alive, and that character movement also translates well into the fight scenes. I'd say, while not as good as Kill la Kill, the fight scenes of Promare are awesome. They're so vibrant and action-packed and are just so good. If I had to rank all the mecha fight scenes in particular, I'd say that my ranking goes as follows. The first fight scene of the movie comes in last place purely because compared to the other two, it's pretty simple and bare bones. Second place belongs to the final fight scene, which is super interesting and fulfilling and is a good climax of the film. And in the first place is the giant fire dragon fight because shit is rad as hell. Like, oh my gosh, that shit is so cool. It tickles my little gay, simple-minded autistic brain. I don't know, it's just awesome. The soundtrack, the visuals, what it means, just everything about it is amazing. Knowing that this is a mecha anime and a Studio Trigger anime, however, I'm honestly shocked though that the film's runtime is mainly dialogue and plot advancements. It wasn't giant robots beating each other's ass. That's kind of the film's biggest issue though. These characters are really forgettable and uninteresting. The only characters I can say I enjoyed was Leo and maybe the governor, but everyone else including the main protagonist are so forgettable that I straight up forgot his name. I had to search it up to write this video. None of the chemistry feels real. None of them feel like they actually know or care about each other. Except Leo and Gallo, but even then it's less of, wow, these two really hit it off. I wonder how their friendship will develop. And more of, damn, that's cool. So when are they gonna have rough gay sex? Like when they gonna fuck? Legit, it is just lacking in the character department hard. This also makes the weird and undeveloped B-plot super hard to manage. Like, I mean, it is hard to watch, it's boring. I can barely remember it. I just remember it involves the one bitch who's straight baiting in the movie. It involves her sister. It was really bad, okay? I did not pay attention to it at all. I'm honestly so confused and curious as to how this even happened, to be honest, because the character development and character chemistry is what Studio Trigger is amazing at. That's one of my favorite parts of Kill la Kill and Little Witch Academia. I hate to keep on comparing Promare to Kill la Kill, but it's kind of my go-to for peak Studio Trigger, so it drives me crazy that the characters in this film are so boring and uninteresting. This sadly bogs the film down a lot, as you could expect, and makes everything feel a lot more meaningless. So what do I think about Promare? Well, overall, it's a really fun and cool experience, but under all the pretty colors and the giant robots and just the awesome soundtrack, the story is soulless, and so is the characters. I wouldn't really say it's great, but I also wouldn't say it's bad. I'd say it's good. At worst, mediocre. What did you think about Promare, though? And what do you think about my takes? If you like them or hate them, comment below, hit the subscribe button, or hit unsubscribe. It's up to you, really. I hope you all have an amazing day. See you in the next one.
I came looking for man's butt.
A man's butt? Excuse me?
Oh, I know who you are, Chris Hansen. But see, I calls you Chris Handsome. I watch your TV show all the time. So you can go ahead and bring them cameras and them police is waiting outside. It don't make me no difference. Now, I tell you what, I like you and I want you.